Okay, I want to talk about how a network might work. And you can see here we have the internet on the screen. If I had a classroom of computers in the top left-hand corner and we were using them in a classroom, I'd want to go through and connect all of these together into what we call a switch, okay? And those who might be in a classroom could literally go trace the cables coming out of the back of their computers that go into a device that looks like the switch here that you can plug a lot of different computers into. If students were to bring in their own laptops or mobile devices or things like that, those might actually connect directly into a wireless access point. And then that wireless access point would then go back and tie back into that switch, if that makes sense there. Okay, and so a switch is going to go through and think of it like a splicer. It's going to take all these connections and divide them all up. And then from there, the switch is going to go over to a router. And you can see that, making that connection right there. And the router is going to assign addresses and kind of organize everybody on where they need to be. And a switch doesn't necessarily do that as much, unless it pretty much just says, you go now, you go now, you go now, you go. But a router's doing all the heavy work. And part of that router, often built into these routers, are these firewalls. So it's going to kind of go through a firewall before it moves out into the web here, right? For those at home, your network is going to go off of your own computer into a router, but that router is going to probably have multiple ports in the back, so it's kind of like a switch. It also has the wireless access point built into it, and that's why it has the antennas on it. And then often, one thing I didn't draw on here, in this place right here, you might also find like a cable modem or a modem of sorts. And those at home probably have even those modem capabilities built into their router and wireless access point, things like that. And that's going to go out their firewall and out into the internet as well. And so the internet, again, is important to understand. It's just a collection of all these computers put together, right? And as we're surfing the web and we're doing different things, if we're going to go out and surf YouTube or something like that, we're going to go out on the internet, and that internet's going to pop out somewhere and come into a place like this, in through a firewall, and then into a router of its own, and then into the server from there. And that server is going to take whatever request and things like that, and then just send it back through the page. So it's really quite amazing to see how this internet works together. Let me show you something else here. So if we look at submarine map, internet backbone, we can pull up, there's a lot of these little great maps that will show you a lot of these backbones and where they lay underneath the ocean. Now you got to understand that as it comes out of, the university or your house, it's going to go on bigger pipes that go to bigger pipes and so forth. And then, again, create this massive network around the entire Earth. And in this example here, you can see how different lines will connect different countries across the world, as these were laid underneath the ocean on really big, fat pipelines, things like that. So it kind of might make more sense to you on how the internet might work and how we connect these computers together physically together with copper wires and wireless internet and things like that. It's rather quite amazing.